Hey, what's up, YouTube? All right, this video is going to be about my thoughts on religion. Okay, so basically, I'm finna explain it. uh, Now the reason why I decided to talk about religion today is I think people scapegoat the problems in the world. They use religion as a scapegoat for that. Okay, and what I mean is like people be like, people have been fighting thousands of years just because of religion, and that's not really the case. It's not. The case in that is that people have misinterpreted meanings of things and don't understand basic human nature, right? And so because of that, they misinterpret what they've been taught and they try to say that the religion is doing that when it's not. All right? It's like me reading the story of like Cinderella and then going around like treating women like crap and then being like, it's because I read in Cinderella that the stepmother was like so bad. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, does it? No, it don't. So the same way that people are trying to blame religion or whatever for countless murders and things like that is ridiculous. Okay, it's a flaw in the human nature that is resulting in the conflicts that they're having. It's not the religion that they believe in. Okay, now I'm finna explain why it's not the religion. The religions that we have now and everything else is based off of observation of the earth, the stars, and everything else. And that makes complete sense. What doesn't make sense is to say that some dude one day just like had an idea that he should write out an entire like religion and then do it in like one day. Like that's ridiculous. Okay? And I know that's ridiculous because when you look at scriptures and religions, you see that it is really closely based off of human natures in observations of certain things, observations that we see happening on the earth. All right? Now, to further explain how people who created religions came up with their ideas or why they thought it was so important to preserve these ideas, I'm going to explain it. Okay, in this reality, there are certain laws that cannot be explained and they can't be broken, right? Okay, and I'm going to explain it. Okay, there are 7 of these laws. One is mentalism, the second one is correspondence. I'm reading off my notes here, so I got to flip some pages. Okay. The third is polarity. The fourth is gender. The fifth is rhythm. And the sixth is vibration. The seventh is cause and effect. Now, for the 7 things that I just named, there is no specific one that comes first. There is no explanation for these things. But we know that these things exist in our reality. We know cause and effect happens, right? Because when you throw something, it doesn't travel forever. It falls down, and then there was initial cause that you threw it for. Okay, these are things that we can't explain, so they're called laws, cosmic laws. Cosmic because no matter where you're at, the same thing happens, right? Okay, and so since we know that these laws exist in reality and we can observe these laws like cause and effect, polarity, vibration, and rhythm, we know these things exist. It's not a speculation, it's a common observation that these things exist, right? Okay, well, it's the same way for people who were, creating religions and belief systems. They set out and they watched these things happen, vibration and cause and effect and all of this, and they speculated on what was causing these things, right? So they came to observe that these are, in fact, laws that govern our reality and existence in a way, right? The reason why I know that religion is based off of these certain principles or laws is because these laws govern our reality. You can't say that things happen without a cause and effect in our reality, or you'll just sound illogical. You can't say there is nothing that doesn't have a vibration because everything in our existence has a frequency. Whether you think it does or not, it does. All right. Same thing with rhythm, polarity, and gender. And I'm not finna define gender for you. You can do that yourself. I'm not finna to. All right. and polarity. All these things are common things that continue throughout our reality and everything. Okay, so just think about that. You're a person who has been on the planet for a long time, and you've been observing cycles and everything of this earth, right? That's important information that you probably would want to pass down to future people of your bloodline, or future civilizations. You want to pass down, you know you've observed certain things that are concrete to this reality, because that will root you and make you feel connected overall to the bigger picture. Okay, so earlier people did this by telling stories of these laws, making up, maybe using cause and effect as a specific character in a story. You see what I'm saying? So this is how it began. They started using that as an oral way of preserving the knowledge that they had that was concrete and real. Now, it gets deeper because eventually they begin to see that things like cause and effect, vibration, and polarity are in sync with human nature. You see what I'm saying? Now, when I say things like in sync with human nature or whatever, what I mean is that cause and effect can be linked to reason and logic. You see what I'm saying? Certain events in your life will cause you to think in certain ways, forcing you to use logic, which will have an effect on whatever you're doing, right? And so it wasn't too long before they figured out that these cosmic laws that they've been studying or that they've seen in action, they are linked to, basic human nature. Now, why would it be important for them to, correlate these things or make this link? It will be important because people will be able to understand themselves more better on why they do certain things if they know that there's an overall law, or there is a constant that their emotions or feelings are connected to, so that they can fix whatever they don't like about themselves. Okay? And it's important for you to fix things that you don't like about yourself, or things that you constantly do, because you will feel better as a person and it will stop you from doing a lot of other things. All right? Now I'll explain it. Okay. So, okay, yeah, back to human nature. Okay, and so when they figured out that, these cosmic laws relate to human nature, then it became important for them to write down how that happens, right? So then they came up with, things like commandments and sins. Now, commandments and sins relate directly to human nature. And the reason why you should and shouldn't do certain things is because it would trespass on another person's human nature, which will lead to all kinds of different kinds of things happening. All right. So, this is the beginning or basis of how religions were formed and how belief systems were made, right? Now, to run over everything that I just said, okay, I said that initially there were observations made of cosmic laws. Then I went through the list of what cosmic laws were, and I'll do that again. Mentalism, correspondence, polarity, gender, rhythm, vibration, and cause and effect. All right, those are the cosmic laws that are constant. Then I said that from those laws, certain oral traditions and stories were based off of and passed down from, generation to generation. And eventually there were correlations between those stories or whatever in basic human nature, which was then written down in the form of do's and don'ts of humans. You see what I'm saying? And preserved as a belief or a way of life. All right? And that's how religions and belief systems developed.